Queen's Park Rangers made it 5 wins in a row at Loftus Road following Monday night's 2-1 victory over Luton Town, and remarkably, no side in England's top 4 tiers is on a longer winning run at home. That record is impressive not only because Martí Cifuentes is the first Rangers manager to achieve such a feat since Harry Redknapp in December 2013, but also because prior to this winning streak, QPR had failed to win any of their previous 9 home matches this season. If you're new to the channel, I'm Connor, aka Hoopser. I make QPR previews, reactions, interviews and features. So if you enjoyed this match reaction, please do consider hitting like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, or follow and leave a rating if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. For the first time since between Stoke at home and Cardiff away, Martí named an unchanged starting 11 to the team that dispatched Watford 3-1 on New Year's Day just 5 days before, and it was an almost identical bench too, save for the addition of Southampton loanee Ronnie Edwards in place of Daniel Benny. And making no changes once again had largely the desired effect, leading to an uncharacteristically dominant opening half from the R's, with 63% possession and 4 big chances from 8 shots, albeit it was a half that didn't end up quite how we would have liked. After sizing one another up in the opening few minutes, Elias Chair produced the first real chance of the game on what was his 250th appearance for the R's. He must have spent all of his time on the sidelines this season working on his crossing, because just like his deliveries to Dunn against both Watford and Preston, this was another fantastic ball to seek out Frey at the back post, but unfortunately the Swiss striker headed it straight at Kaminski. Chair once again produced an almost identical delivery in for Dunn on 14 minutes, and the header this time looked destined for the top right corner, but Kaminski did exceptionally well to get a glove to it, and Jimmy's attempt to drive in the rebound flew well over the crossbar. Luton's attempts to get the balls down the wing were largely dealt with in this opening quarter of the game, and while they clearly have some players with good technical ability, they looked as low on confidence as you might expect from a team that have lost 9 of their past away matches before this fixture. By contrast, with QPR getting more and more of the ball, we grew in confidence. One thing I've been really impressed with in recent home matches is how much we mix up our build-up play from the back now. We still for the most part pass out from Nardi, but with Frey in the side, we have the option of going long when we need to, or quite often, he'll drop deep to get things going. And that's exactly how our opener on 23 minutes came about. Ashby worked it down the line to Morgan, who played it cutely inside to a deep dropping Frey, who then hit the ball first time in behind for Smith to run onto down the right. From where I was sitting in the upper loft, it initially looked like the ball had too much on it, but it instead spanned generously back into Smith's feet, allowing him to tee up Morgan to put a lofted ball to the back post to none other than Mickey Frey, who had worked his bollocks off to slip in at the back post after starting the whole move off. Right back Walters couldn't quite get his head to the dropping ball, which allowed Frey to bring it down and shoot with his left from a tight angle, bouncing off the right post and into the back of the net. That's Mickey's second goal in 2 appearances since his return, and just as I said in my Watford reaction, he really showed once again with his all-round game how much we've really missed his physical presence up top while he's been away. For all our dominance though, it really felt like we needed to kill this game off early with a second, and Luton showed exactly why just 4 minutes later when Rangers were forced to produce a goal line clearance and 3 blocks in the box in quick succession to deny the Hatters. It started down the right with a tidy link up from Chong and Morris, setting the former up completely free to drive into the box. He cut the ball dangerously along the ground to Bell just on the edge of the box, whose powerful low drive was blocked by Ashby, but Nardi had tried to make the same stop behind him, leaving Nelson completely free to tap in from 2 yards out. That was, of course, until Sam the Shield Phil produced the latest of an ever-growing list of goal line clearances. Even that clearance fell generously to Morris just behind though, but Dunn and Fox swarmed him and mitigated the danger to the infused cheers of the home crowd. It was a tense moment, but it was one that sums up this QPR team's recent performances perfectly, and although Sam had looked like one of the more tired of the unchanged players, he once again showed just how crucial he often is in the big moments of games. The match fell into a bit of a lull from here, not dissimilar to Oxford United at home, though we were much better on the ball than in that match and we were dictating the tempo. Paul Smith multiple times had joy taking the ball inside of Amari Bell, not often a move we see from him, but he was another who looked a little bit out of puff after some really standout performances recently. Frustrating then that in the dying seconds of added time, from just their second effort on target, Luton made it level from a corner when Chong tried to get the better of Powell down the right, forcing the Dutchman to shepherd the ball out of play. It's not surprising, obviously, that Luton scored from a corner, They've now scored just as many from set pieces as they have from open play this season, and their deliveries into the box throughout the 90 minutes had a consistency that Kenny could only dream of. But with that said, this was their only corner of the half, and if you let a centre-back as big as Mark McGuinness jump in the box without trying to follow him up there, Jonathan, you know what you're going to get. It was a cracking header, I'll give him that. So just like that, in 30 seconds, the context of a game we have been running completely changed. And it's amazing what a goal will do for a team, really, because after looking so devoid of it, Luton came out with confidence in the second half, and now it was the away side dominating the ball until pretty much 70 minutes. Thankfully though, this didn't translate into too many efforts for the away side, with Liam Walsh's early free kick going straight into the wall and January signing Lamine Fan's shot going wayward. Marty made 2 changes on 61 minutes to start to try and wrestle back control, with Paul Smith, whose head was literally pissing blood, not that the ref was interested, and Varane making way for Saito and Edwards, with the lone centre-back initially slotting into the midfield. Neither of these introductions would even have to get involved though to restore QPR's lead, because just 30 seconds after they'd come on, Morgan Fox put us 2-1 up with one of the bizarrest goals since Wednesday away. It came initially from a power free kick that I had no idea what we were going to do with. Cher had just wasted one on the other side of the pitch that looked perfect for Kenny, and this time he was taking one that looked perfect for Cher, so it made a lot of sense when he teed it short for the Moroccan to shoot. His shot looked set to go well wide though. That was until it miraculously found the heel of Fox in the box, who with next to no idea about it watched on as his unlikely connection with the ball trickled over the line while a wrong-footed Kaminsky watched on helplessly. We had barely had a sniff in the second half until this point, and somehow we were now back in the lead. Just like the first half, Luton almost instantly replied when Carlton Morris rose high at the back post from their own free kick, but Paul Nardi produced an incredible block to keep us ahead. Sensing the oncoming onslaught, Marty made 2 more changes with Colback replacing Ashby, meaning Edwards dropped into centre-back and Dunn out to right-back, and Alfie Lloyd came on to take the place of Frey. Now, many have questioned why Colley wasn't the forward of choice given his recent form, but I have to say Lloyd was without a doubt the exact right choice from Marty, because not only did he get better and better as the minutes rolled by, but his chaotic display pushed Luton back up the pitch as intended, and twice within 2 minutes he nearly got himself a goal to match the performance. The first opportunity came when he latched onto a cheeky ball twisted round the corner from Cher, and despite being unable to get onto the ball that he pushed past McGuinness, his constant chasing saw the centre-back play him through on goal with a weak back pass. With only the keeper to beat, his chip went agonisingly wide of the open net. If that wasn't frustrating enough, he went even closer a minute later. Edwards carried the ball out from the back and found Morgan in the middle, who turned and tried to float the ball out to Cher on the left. Walters caught the ball shot, but he couldn't get a proper head on it, and instead put it on another plate for Lloyd, who, about to be sandwiched by 2 defenders, reeled off an even better shot from a much harder chance, and painstakingly rattled the right-hand post. Don't let the fact that he didn't get himself on the score sheet deceive you though. He battled bravely with Luton's backline, going in for every 50-50, and he was crucial in ensuring we weren't just pinned back for the remainder of the game. I obviously need to spend a moment now talking about man of the match Kieran Morgan, because while his part in Alfie's second chance was under hit, he was absolutely fantastic once again. It's all about his decision making for me. He knows when to drive forwards, he knows when to get rid, and as he repeatedly did on Monday night, he knows when to gamble with these short balls through tight spaces. Most importantly, of the 3 central midfielders, he's the one to most regularly receive the ball on the half turn and get us on the attack. And that's exactly why our midfielders started to function so much more effectively. I'm running out of words for him at this point, but with a ceiling as high as his, I have to point out the irony of Spurs spending a combined £38.5 million on 2 18-year-old centre mids last summer, only to let 18-year-old Kieran Morgan go for completely free. Despite playing on the wrong side, Saito put in an excellent cameo from the right too, repeatedly getting the better of that side of the defence. He wins corners, he beats his markers with skill, and he regularly steals the ball back from the opposition. And I'm absolutely dying for the guy to get himself a goal, because I think he's going to go absolutely crazy when he does. He nearly had himself an assist shortly after Jake Clark-Salter was subbed on for Morgan right at the end, driving towards goal and selflessly picking out Cher on the left. QPR's number 10 cut inwards, as we've seen him do so many times in the 249 appearances before this one, but he wasn't able to bend it inwards for 3-1. 7 minutes were added on for some reason, and Luton had 2 more chances to cause trouble, with Adebayo's header from Chong's cross on 91 minutes winning the away side a dreaded corner. And just like the end of the first half, McGuinness was left free to jump high in the box to meet the ball in, heading narrowly over the crossbar from a chance arguably much easier than the one he'd scored from. Thankfully, the remaining 5 minutes were much less stressful, with QPR running down the clock to full time. So, 5 home wins on the spin, which is ridiculous. Rangers now into the lofty heights of 13th place, and most stupidly of all, nearer in points to the playoffs than the relegation zone, having been 5 points adrift at the bottom of the table just a month ago. It's a strange one because we didn't score any of the chances that we probably should have, but we scored both of the chances that we probably shouldn't have. So in a weird way, it was lucky we won 2-1, but also quite unlucky we didn't win 5-1. Either way, the thing I'm most impressed by is not just that we've extended this brilliant run of form, but that we keep finding different ways to win from different challenges. This was, as expected, a much more physical opposition than we've played lately, especially as the game went on, but we still found a way to win and didn't sacrifice our playstyle to do so. I don't know where our season is going to go from here, but having dug ourselves out of trouble, we now have an amazing platform to build from in this second half of the campaign, especially if we can work out how to start playing well away from home, some more players to return from injury, and potentially further additions this month. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much as usual for watching and listening, and do let me know what you thought about this match in the comments below. If you're new to Hoopsa and you enjoyed this match reaction, please do consider following and subscribing, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one for my Leicester preview. Cheers!